All right, folks, Steve, Low Class Media. We got the bikes warming up early because it's colder than a witch's boob. Let's go! That's right, folks. We're out here in Cedar Creek, Texas for round, I don't know what, of the TX2 series. That's right, I said TX2, not Torx. A little bit different thing we're doing here today. Instead of one hour race in TX2, we're doing two 30-minute motos, which is actually quite interesting and quite fun. And yeah, it is very cold and very windy. And that is going to be an interesting element in the racing today. So we're gonna gear up, get out and practice, and take a look at the course. It's very open, very fast. It looks like we're at Rusty's. We haven't been here in a long time. We're actually across the street from where we normally are, but similar terrain, similar dirt, and we're looking forward to this one, baby. Let's go! Let's go. Woo, like magic out here. Practice is over. That is a fun track, man. That is going to be so fun to race on. I feel like it's actually going to be a race. As you guys saw, lots of hard pack, lots of speed, and lots of traction, especially out in these fields. And man, I'm looking forward to this one. So let's get out there and 100% full gas. If you could see, you go 100%. Is that right? That's right. All right, folks. Race time. The C guys are out on their second race. We just got done with our first moto. Fun, super fun race. Softened up the bike a little bit to give my hands a break on the second moto. Hopefully that'll give me a little bit of a boost. But we'll see. Let's get out there, get on the line, and let's get this next one. Go! Oh. Very awkward start with the hand behind the head. These other guys got a way better jump. Oh my probably should keep the bike on instead of stalling. I'm only showing Moto 2 here just because I want to cut down on the length of the video. Moto 2 was about like Moto 1. I did a little bit better in Moto 2, but in Moto 1 I also had a bunch of stalling issues, which I'm pretty sure I figured out why that's going on. This weekend I figured that out. Decent start here. I mean, I think I'm in what? 1, 2, 3, 4th place right now. Got somebody on a 2-stroke. I think it's Corey breathing down my neck here. He was not happy about that one. I saw a video from John Jett, and he took a really nice outside line and tried to cut back underneath. And I shut the door on him, and it's lap 1, baby. Gotta take it. This is, I think it's Sergey. I always find Sergey in these races, which is nice. Makes for good competition. Oh, another stall. There you go, Corey. Didn't have to work so hard after all. He's on a 125 and he's making it work. I'm on a 350. And it's impressive what he's doing on that smaller bike for sure. I've always wanted to try that. Honestly, I think I've only ridden a 125 literally like a couple times in my life. And I've always wanted to try one in a tight trail just to kind of see, you know, if you can kind of get through there. But I think he's just straight up better rider than me, you know, in general. A little tricky off-camber section here before this long straightaway, which I didn't realize probably until deep into the second moto that this was all one straightaway. But I was also a little bit kind of cautious with, there's enough dust to where I wasn't quite as familiar with what it looked like to really want to push it and go faster. I think I only got to 4th gear there. I think I do get to 5th gear on the last lap. I did better in this moto than the first one for sure, but between them, and I know I mentioned it earlier in the video, between the motos, I softened up the bike quite a bit. Oh. I took a branch to the chest on that one, and it just rejected me. This log hop, I just bellied up to it every single time. It wasn't even that hard. I don't know why I was having such an issue with it. But yeah, I softened up the bike between motos, which definitely was an improvement. I didn't mind racing the bike so stiff as I did in the first one. I think I had a lot of I think I was building a lot of grip in the tires, but I was deflecting too much, and so in addition to taking more impact in the hands, I didn't quite have the grip in some areas to kind of stay smooth and keep the bike turning, like in the woods where it's a little bit more choppy and there were some marbles here and there. But the changes I made, I softened it up quite a bit. I mean, I think I went probably 5 clicks open on compression in the front. I opened up the rebound just, I think, 1 or 2. Opened up the high speed from 1.5 to 2 turns on the shock. Opened up the rebound, I think, a couple clicks, and then the compression, I think I opened up maybe 4 or 5 clicks. And that definitely made the bike much easier to manage. It did definitely feel more stuck some more,
God damn it! Fucking A! God fuck!
oh man. Safe to say we weren't happy about that. This guy was different class. But yeah, the
Fucking stalling, goddamn bike!
oh man. Not happy. When am I ever happy when I'm racing? It's weird. I am happy, but I don't show it, that's for sure. But yeah, with the bike a little softer, it definitely felt a little more stuck. I felt like I kind of had to muscle it around a little bit more, but I definitely gained a lot of confidence. There you go. Definitely gained a lot of confidence on the more choppy stuff. This stalling issue that I was having, it's interesting. I think this is, yeah, this is John Jett in front of me, and that's a guy in another class, and I think it's Sergey in front of him. This stalling issue I was having, I noticed this weekend when I was riding. I turned up my idle a little bit just to try to see if I could deal with it a little bit more. See if that helped with stalls a little bit. I think it did, but really what I noticed was when I shift the bike into first gear on the stand and pull the clutch all the way in, the back wheel is still spinning, and you know, I think a little bit of that is okay and probably typical. But when I put my foot against the tire to try to kind of slow it down and see if I could just stop the wheel, it had a lot of torque still, and I think I've got some pretty gnarly clutch drag, so I'm gonna have to get that sorted out, and I definitely think that'll help with the stalling. I don't know if the clutch is just worn out or what, but or if I just need to bleed it, or maybe there's some gunk in there or something. But in any case, I need to open it up and see what's going on, which is not a maintenance item I'm particularly familiar with doing, but I have had to do it before, maybe once and maybe twice. We'll just have to figure it out. John Jett in front of me here has become somewhat of a quiet rival, definitely a reference point for me. I love racing with him and all the guys in the class. I don't get to race a lot with the folks up front just because, well, they're just significantly faster, I think. They were running roughly 10 to 15 seconds faster per lap than I was. Kind of a bummer, but just is what it is. But yeah, John's definitely become my reference, and so if I'm keeping him in sight, which Sergey I think is helping a little bit with that, you know, I was feeling good about where I was in this race, except for this BS right there. Come on, dude.
Come on, dude! Get on the fucking one!
I think there's somebody behind me too. Maybe, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, the fact that we're kind of hanging on to John here, I think is a positive. I also just think John just didn't mesh well with this course. He's typically quite a bit faster than me and was able to cover me pretty easily. Oh, there he goes. Just letting Sergey know. I'm here. Move. I was all for it too. I wanted to see if he was going to get by. Then I just knew I was going to have to get by. I was going to have to force the issue. Oh man, he took off. Sergey did. Going through here, I just didn't realize like you can just keep going right up there. There's a little bit of a bump to the right there, and then you can just nail it through here. I might have been able to make that pass through there if I would have set it up way earlier, but dang, took a little rock there to the face. Oh, there's Jeremy. Jeremy King, been racing with him for a long time. He's in the class behind us. He's definitely picked up a lot of speed here and is moving through us pretty easily. I think John probably thought I was in for a second. It's so annoying too, because I mean he's right there, but in the race it's like I've got nothing. I can't. There's no way I can keep up. And then you go and you look at the average speed on the results, and it's literally just like a 1/10 and a half mile an hour faster, and that's just all it takes to just piece by piece, just step away. There's definitely something I'm missing there in terms of getting on the throttle. They're getting on the throttle way earlier. I think I'm hanging on longer and making it up on braking, but definitely don't have the ability to just get out of those turns as quick as they do. Hurry up! I wanted to jump that little down up right there, but I figured I'd just smash into the wall on the other side. I figured it's probably faster to just roll it. I can't rev behind people. I can't do it. Every time I try to, like, I end up screwing up. This spot right here, I feel like I wasn't doing it, but if you go a little to the right, it wasn't near as much of a down and up. And I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that until a pro passed me. I think it's on the next lap. There we go. Now we're moving. But there was a shallower way through that down up, where it wasn't quite as extreme down or popping you up and over that lip at the end. I think you can carry more speed. I think he flicked me off. You gotta love racing with your boys. I don't know, maybe I don't know if it was a middle finger, if he was like, I see you. Nice. Good pass. I think John kind of hung it out a little bit to let me through. But I was just thinking, like, follow me, man. I'm gonna try to get him. Sergey, man, he just runs just fast enough. I think John and I were both faster behind him, but he just was like mistake free and just super smooth, right down the middle of the trail. Very strategically quick. You know, I think we're definitely faster, but had a good concept of what he was doing in terms of racing, and it was just giving us a hell of a time to try to figure out a way to get by. And certainly faster than some areas for me than others. I try to pull something out of a hat here. I didn't commit. That was the first time I think I ever took that line, practice and racing. John's like, come on, Steven. What are you doing? I got to get that clutch figured out. I'm hanging up the racing for a couple months here. So I'm getting married in January. And I don't want to be walking down the aisle in a boot. There's a little inside cut at that pond back there I didn't see before. And so I think now's a good time to get all my service and maintenance done while I'm forbidden from risking injury. But one thing I want to do is get that clutch figured out to help with that stalling. Because I'm not bad with the clutch. If anything, I use it too much. I think it's the rear brake. The rear brake combined with, whatever clutch issues I might be having. I don't necessarily think I'm prone to stalling, but I think because this was slick, the rear tire is not hooking up as much and continuing to turn, and that hurts that decreases the ability to keep the bike going. I think when you're kind of coming on and off the clutch. There's definitely a skill issue here too. I just don't understand why it's got to be so violent for me. There's an inside cut right here too. Boom, straight to the left right there. And I saw it in practice too, but I don't know if that was pushing it or not. Always got to be looking for those alternate routes. Go, Steve! Ooh, look out, folks. Bro's coming through. Bad form? I don't know. I got John right behind me. I didn't necessarily want to just stop to let Sergey file back in, but I did pass him while he moved over the guy coming by. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did I do that wrong? But I drop him pretty quick, so I mean, at the end of the day, I don't expect anybody to get out of my way just because I'm faster. But I think the fact is that I was a little bit faster. And someone else is behind me now too. Yeah, see right here to the right. See what he did. That, I think that was the way. Gas. Need to move back over to the right. Set this up better. Cut through there. Didn't quite do that. I didn't like going to that outside. I didn't think it was necessarily faster. It's kind of slick over there too, so with that extra bit of dust. Come on, get a turn. Oh, cooked it. I love this turn right here. Rocketing out of here. Got caught enjoying myself and missed the turn. Somebody yelled something right there at that shed. I heard it. Different class. Something. But there's no one behind me.
I thought it was a different class.
Literally, I look behind me. There's no one there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you guys definitely heard it. It was clear. I can hear it in my headphones, loud as day. But there's no one behind me. Maybe they were behind me and they like stalled behind the shed or something, and then like couldn't get their bike started. But literally, like I remember, I came through. I was like, different class, and I turned around. I was like, there's no one here. For a moment in the race, I thought I was hearing things, but I mean, it's right there on video. That is a Yamaha, which I know the Yamahas don't like to hot start, so maybe it was him. But I didn't hear a motor or nothing. I also kind of wondered, I mean, I didn't see anybody, but I was wondering if there was somebody like, I wonder if there was someone up in that shed and it was like echoing back at me.
No!
Not a good place to stall. Bad news, guys, come on. Look right here to the right. Boom, right through there. A little straighten out just a little. That's probably good for half a second. That's huge. Come on. Jesus. Alright, here's where I had open air. It's like I can see it and I'm like, oh, so I'll just go wide open here or something. Like wide open the whole time from the beginning. I guess technically, I mean, that's what they mean when they say you're in your own head. I mean, it's like I can see what's happening, but I'm like second guessing it. instead of just opening up all the way. Seriously? Really nothing. There's old Shane. Shane got by me, and I'm like, all right, enough of these 45Bs passing me. I'm getting tracked down by everyone in the class behind me. It's like, we can go faster. And so I made it a mission to just stay with him. I actually rode his bike this past weekend, and his is the older frame. I think he has maybe like a 22 or 21, and mine's a 24. And he definitely has his bike set up completely differently than mine. But I think potentially I'm not running enough sag because he's got a lot of stopping power in the rear, and I've got like none compared to him. When I was riding his bike, I mean, I was like, golly, it's like this thing stops on a dime with the rear brake. And while my bike definitely has more stopping power at the front and more front end feel, more bite, everything, again, running less sag than he is, newer frame, I do think I probably stand to gain some braking confidence by checking out my sag and see what's going on there. But I tend to like be very light on the rear brake. Try to keep the back tire rolling. Especially on stuff like this. This is very Supermoto-esque, which I enjoy. But I was pretty shocked, and I was pretty shocked by how much, I mean, no offense to Shane, but his rear tire is pretty worn out. And yet it felt like he had way more stopping grip in the rear, and I was like, dang, what's going on there? And so, yeah, I'm gonna explore that. All right, go, 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 now, hit it. I'm like, the way I have my bike set up, and I was riding this weekend with Shane on completely different terrain. It was pretty hard packed, but kind of pretty hard packed still, but also sort of loamy. It actually looks sort of like the conditions that they got for TX4 after they got a little rain, I think, or some moisture. I'm not really sure what happened, but definitely a lot more grip. The TX4 guys got a lot more grip than we did, but also at this place that we were running, jeez, these guys are going at it. At this place that me and Shane were riding this weekend, it's Rio Bravo in Houston. I'm sure a lot of you guys know where that's at. They have a trail that goes around the outside of the property. They did an enduro race there a few years ago through G-Sword, Gulf States Off-Road. I think they race in Louisiana, a little bit of East Texas, including Houston. The dirt this weekend was just, I mean, it could not have been better. And so we were cutting through there, and I felt it just felt amazing on my bike. And I really do love this 350, this 24 KTM 350 XC. Truly, like, of all the bikes I've ridden, you know, between the chassis, the
fact that they switched back to a spring fork on this model, I think they did for 23 as well, but the spring fork that they're putting on these 24s, the new tire, I'm running a 34 front versus the 82. I actually am going to try the 82, so I haven't tried it yet, but like the 81, I didn't never like the 81. I felt like that tire, as soon as it wore out, you know, about 5-6 hours, like it was gone. It had nothing. This tire's literally 20 hours old, which is ridiculous. And some of the knobs still look sharp. I mean, obviously I'm not using them as much as I probably could because I'm not skilled enough to use a lot of the edge knobs quite the way they should be. But I'll tell you what, man, this 34 front tire it's a revolution in terms of like what I'm looking for in terms of feeling. And so, but I do have an 82. I'm gonna throw that on and see if I like it. But all those things combined, like this bike feels like it was made for me. But, and when I got back on Shane's bike, which is again the older frame, very foreign, felt very foreign and very odd. His bar angle was definitely completely different than me. He's got a different bar bend. Here we go. No. There goes Jeremy Schlegel. His bar bend was different than mine. It was more like rolled forward or more up. And so I didn't quite feel like I could get on the bar like I normally do. But still, I mean, with that extra rear brake, I was just very surprised how I was able to adapt to that bike because it felt completely different. But man, with that extra stopping power in the rear, it was definitely interesting. But this is the first bike I've gotten where I'm like, you know, instead of getting the new one, I'll probably just try to fix this one because I like it a lot. But I'm gonna fix that clutch issue, and then also with the suspension, it feels great, but I might do a valve. Here we go. Use that little inside root. This dude was revving at Shane, but I'm pretty sure he's in his same class. Interesting. But I might get my suspension valved over the holidays. I just don't know who's going to do it or what they're going to do. I'm always scared to make a change because, I mean, it does feel good, but I think the springs are definitely where they need to be, but the valving was never changed. So I'm curious if I can't maybe pick something up, pick up some feel in the valving. I ran the whole first Moto 2 with my fork tweaked. I think I'm going to make it part of my race day prep to loosen up my triple clamps and re-torque them every time because they were definitely tweaked, and as I was loosening them up, you could hear them popping back into place. I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, Shane let this guy by, but I'm pretty positive this dude's in his class. Shane saw me, he was like, no sir, you ain't getting by. It's like, we'll see about that. Yikes. Dang, got that stop. I'm surprised. So but it was going to be on the limit if I did. Come on! If I wanted to be really mean, I would have done something right there. But we're not in the same class. He caught me down. He passed me, he beat me. Wow. Race is over, folks. All right, folks, so that's the video. Definitely had a fun time racing TX2. Gonna do more of those. I think it's great that we have 2 viable series to choose from in our area now, where we can, you know, race, I think, whatever suits our schedule. Had a great time racing at Rusty's there. That track was super fun. Definitely felt like a race instead of just survival. Yeah, looking forward to doing more of those with TX2. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you guys at the next race. Peace.